So I think what prompted me to sign Hey Sinamika was primarily the fact that Brinda Master was telling a fun story. Brinda Master herself, who I adore her. I've worked with her quite a few times and I love the way she works, and this was her first directorial, this is the first film that she's directing, and there was she was so particular that she wanted Dulquer and me, like we were the first two people who were signed for this film, and she just insisted that she will only make the film with the two of us. So there was also that, that kind of confidence and loyalty, and it was also the fact that when there's a director who believes so much in you and sees you as in their vision, then I feel very excited about working on a film like that. So it was a combination of story, director, actor. Madan Karki narrated it to me. It was a lot of fun. Also the fact that I get to play something very different from what I usually play. So I think that's what made me sign Hey Sinamika.
And you are especially popular in Malayalam, and Dulquer sir is also in the film. So how was that equation with Dulquer sir working?
Honestly, I've done one film in Malayalam, but that film got a lovely response and I enjoyed doing it. But I don't think the language had anything to do with it. DQ and I are friends. We have been friends, and we were friends before we signed this film. So for us, actually, it was quite, it was exciting and fun, but it was also, I think it was also important for us to, okay, I'm going to take this again. I'll redo this. So actually I've only done one film in Malayalam, so I don't think language had anything to do with it, even though I got a great response for that film. But DQ himself does films in various languages, so it's not really about the language that we're working in or where he comes from or where I come from. It's also about the fact that we are friends, we were looking forward to working together, and this seemed like a film that we were both as excited about, and we both love Brinda Master a lot, and for both of us it was this thing that we have to do this film with Master, for Master, together. And it's such a nice thing, it's the first time that two people work together. They work together on such a happy project, where everybody is just so happy to be on set every day. So it was a lot of fun.
Was there anything special that you did to adapt yourself for your role in Hey Sinamika?
Actually, my role in Hey Sinamika is different from what I usually play. So everybody sees me a particular way usually, but as I always say, there are various sides to a person's personality, and maybe only people very close to me get to see a goofy side or a badmash side, and I feel like because Brinda Master has done many rehearsals with me, she's seen that side of me, and I think she tapped into that when she wanted to cast me for Mauna. So I really enjoyed myself. It was almost like there were no rules. I could just do anything. And obviously Brinda Master would keep like veering me back into whatever we needed to do. But it was a lot of fun for me. I used to have giggling fits on set, which is which were a cause for a lot of distress. Dulquer wanted to kill me at various points, but I really enjoyed myself. And I could like just be goofy and be mad through the shoot of this film. So I just let myself like enjoy myself. That's what I did with this.
Yeah, that's what where we were coming next. That in the trailer we got to see your comic side.
Yeah.
So how did you try your hands at comedy?
Actually, with comedy or whatever it is, I've never really done it before, but I feel a lot of it is in the script and in the situations and in the staging of it, because I think the ability to make people laugh is actually one of the most difficult things. You can make people cry with you, you can make people fall in love, you can, when they're watching, but to make people laugh, I really think it's one of the hardest things. So I didn't look at it as a, oh, now I'm doing comedy. The situations were like that, the way that it's written, we thought were funny, or were fun to do. It was fun to play out those scenes. And we had a lot of really interesting actors with us. Like apart from DQ and me, there's some really incredible people from, you know, from stand-up comic background, from television, and they're really funny people. So it was fun to be also with them on set.
You're actually a very good dancer, and your director is a leading choreographer. So how did that impact on working with Master?
With Brinda Master, you know, what was really incredible was she did not bring out her choreographer on set when she was directing us. That was put away because sometimes, you know, you can also choreograph rhythmically, and there can be a lot of direct rhythmic in rhythm, and there can be a lot of musicality in direction. But I found that with Master, she kept those two departments very separate. I have to say that Brinda Master is super efficient. She doesn't waste a single second. There were days where she would look at me and she would be like, can you be ready in 5 minutes? And I'd be like, yeah. And I'd just literally tie my hair on set and put on a jacket to change the costume. So because, you know, she was taking very quick shots, lots of montages. In fact, she would, because I was happy to come to set really early, I would come to set like at 7 in the morning, and she would knock off all my montage portions. So Master was a director when she was a director, and a choreographer when she had to be a choreographer. But I know that because this was her film, and because she has choreographed me before, I think she really pushed me to take long shots when we were doing the dance song. So I have shot practically the entire song in one take, and we would do like really long shots. So I finished all my dance portions really fast. But that also has to do with the fact that I have worked with Master before. Master's assistant Leela, I've worked with her so much, and Master knows that I want my rehearsals. So I want like 2 days clean rehearsals so that I come to set and then I don't have to repeat a shot because I made a mistake. So I love to dance. So I just want the camera to roll and for me to dance. So because Master knows that, we worked accordingly. So yeah, apart from that, I think there was no, yeah.
Is there anything special you want to talk about Master as a director?
You know, I think what I love about Master is the fact that she's like a very excitable child on set. She enjoys it. Sometimes Master would be laughing more than any of us. Like sometimes, you know, before you called cut, you would hear Master giggle, and because it was not sync sound, it was okay. So and she would enjoy herself so much when she was directing that I think it was very infectious. Also, I think, you know, apart from the fact that for an actor, at least for me, I'm completely a director's actor. I trust my directors. I surrender to their vision. I enjoy working with directors that I respect. But apart from the fact that she was very clear about what she wanted and she gave us a lot of freedom, she also, I think she was also, and it's very important to be able to take the entire team with you, you know. So to be a really amazing captain, I think is one of the most important things that a director does, to keep everyone in good spirits, happy. Sometimes you're working long hours, sometimes it's hot, but everybody just wants to be there for the director, for the vision, for the story, for, you know, for each other. I think that's a really beautiful thing. So we were completely with Master. Whatever she wanted, we were there. And if she asked for 1, we were happy to give her 100. You know, it was like that. So I think a director just effortlessly does that, and Brinda Master is effortlessly that person. I don't know a single person who doesn't love Brinda Master, but I always tell her I love her best.
How was your experience of sharing screen space with Kajal Agarwal for the first time?
So Kajal has a lot of experience. She's done a huge number of films in the South. She's a very popular actor there. I actually didn't have too many scenes with her, but I had some key important scenes with her. She actually came in the last 10-15 days of shoot. So DQ and I had been working, and then she joined us later. So it was almost like, you know, we had it was almost like, you know, when you're in school and then somebody joins in class 11 and 12, it was a bit like that. So there was suddenly a new energy on set, and I have to credit Kajal with the fact that she, you know, in 2 days she was completely in sync with all of us and with how we were working, and the fact that we used to giggle so much all the time, and we were all buddies on that set, and I really credit her with the fact, and I think it comes from her experience that she slips into, you know, molding herself to work with different units, and I really credit her with that, because it's sometimes it's quite like, you know, it can be daunting to walk onto a set where everybody has you know, has been working together for so long. So it was great fun working with her, and I also really admired how she manages language, and you know, it's a lot of skill, you know, when you don't know the language and you are able to convince people that you know it. So I admire that, and she does it with like a boss like quality, you know. So because I really mug my lines, and before I come to set I'm like, oh, I have to get my lines out, and she's very cool. Because I think she's just done it so many times, so she just like manages. So I find that quite cool. It's experience, and I always doff my hat to that.
So ma'am, these were the questions related to film. We have 3 more questions which are related to you. So do you want to add on something related to film again, or should we
some special anecdote
about the film?
Film.
Do you want to say anything more about the film, or should we go ahead with some personal questions for you?
I don't know. Shweta, what do I need to say about the film?
Any incident
Anything?
You carry with yourself still, remember something?
Any memorable
DQ master or Kajal?
How
DQ's selfie?
up together because of one of the time there was a cyclone, no, that happened.
Oh yeah.
Days of shoot,
Yeah.
you guys were together.
Yeah.
That you can
That
speak
is
about.
That in Cochin, right?
You can talk about
And
Pondicherry also.
yeah. So this particular shoot, you know, there are some shoots where you don't want the shoot to get over. This was one of those shoots, and I wept on the last day because I was just so sad. It was, and even Brinda Master was in tears. It was just a really happy shoot, and we had some crazy situations where, you know, there was one point where there was a cyclone. There was an actual cyclone, and then in the film also there's a whole sequence about a cyclone, but there was an actual cyclone, and then we were all just stuck together, but we had so much fun. It was like school ki chutti, and we were all chilling. It was super fun. And then there was another time when there were a lot of crazy things happened on this shoot. There was another, so DQ had told me at the beginning of this thing only, he used to always make fun of me because I was so like earnest about learning my lines and saying my lines correctly and all. So I used to always panic because DQ talks really fast and I don't speak that fast. So he told me, you better say your dialogues fast. So I was like, what is this? This is not fair. So he was like, I'm timing you, say it fast and all. So there was one particular scene where I was getting it right and it was my over shoulder and DQ's shot, and then the camera turns around and now I have to do the entire scene, and both of us had this thing that we want to do masters. We don't want to cut the dialogues and do it because it, like, we enjoy that as actors, right, to be able to do the entire scene. And I don't want ever language to come in the way. I love to do full scenes. And then the camera goes over the other side and suddenly I hear somebody say that for the what is it called? Damn it. For the, what is it called, Shweta? The, when you have 10 to 9, 9 to whatever? Shift. Huh. So basically I heard somebody say that the shift is getting over. And then there was some panic button, this thing rang in my head. And every time I was getting some stupid dialogue wrong and I was getting so angry with myself, and literally there were 2 minutes. So 2 takes over, now we're on the 3rd take. and I get damn irritated with myself if I go beyond like 2 takes or whatever. So I started panicking, and then the third take also I messed up, and then big tears started coming out because I was so angry with myself. And what does this DQ do? He starts laughing. Look, master, look, she's crying. Eh? And then he brings a phone and starts taking photos of me while I'm crying. And then he puts them up on social media. I wanted to punch him. Until now, I haven't got my revenge with that bully. But I remember that day on set, everybody, they didn't know whether to cry or console me. And master was like, anybody else would have been like, I'll do it tomorrow. This one is like, I want to finish it today. Anyway, then we did it the next day. But all this would happen quite often actually. But it was a lot of fun. I think I provided a lot of entertainment for everybody. But it was all at my expense.
So ma'am,
Tell me.
artists...
Sorry, one second, what?
Do you want to talk about how this film started right at the beginning of COVID?
Yeah. So the other thing that happened was we started shooting this film, I think literally 2 weeks before the entire world shut down. And we were shooting in Chennai as we were so happy on set. We were completely unconcerned. We were shooting like drinking rasam, convinced that rasam cures COVID, and shooting very happily, no problem. Till suddenly we were told that tomorrow there's going to be no shoot and everything's going to shut down. And that's it. And then we were told, okay, in 2 weeks we can come back to set. And that 2 weeks became, I don't know what, like 4 months or something. So yeah, we settled in. We were having such a great time, and then lockdown happened, and then we got back. But the amazing thing is we got back to like full energy, and it was a lot of fun. Super fun. Anything else?
There are general questions related to you.
Huh.
Generally, artists feel insecure doing multi-starrers,
Huh.
but you have done them. Will you continue to do so in future too?
Multi-starrers are great. Like, I go to the theatre to watch a lot of my favorite actors, and I think that for me, there's no ego, insecurity involved in making these decisions, because I don't think that ego nor insecurity has a place when you're creating something fun and beautiful. I also think that when you work with people you trust, you don't need to feel like that. Plus, I'm very clear about why I'm doing a film or what my part is in that film. And for me, it's very important to sit in people's hearts and go back home with them, so that they keep thinking about the story or the character or the whatever it is, and they keep revisiting it in whatever way. So for me, if I have that, then I would do a film. And also somewhere I feel like even though I don't like to be stuck in a genre, I think it's very important to do different kinds of films, but I love doing love stories. And when there's a different take on a love story or a different journey you're taking with the love story, then it's really fun, and you get to do, you get to explore different things and different emotions and different layers. So yeah, I don't look at it like that. I just look at it very differently.
Would you like to tell us more about your forthcoming films in various languages?
At the moment, I don't think I can tell you very much, but I have finished 2 things in Hindi. I will be starting another soon. I have one multi-language film, which is also going to be shot soon. I don't know, actually I can't tell you anything really, because I prefer, I'm a director and producer's baby. I let them make the announcements, and I do my work. I don't think it's, I feel like, the work should speak for itself, and there's a right time to speak about it. So I just.
And how do you want people to remember you as an actress?
I think for me, what is really important is the intention of that you put into why you do something, how you do it, and for me, I really find cinema magical. I also think that cinema is timeless, and the characters that we create in cinema can be timeless. So I like to pick my films like that. I like to pick my characters like that, which is why it's very important for me to work with directors I respect and admire, not only for a self-serving purpose, but for the larger art that cinema is. And I love films to be huge box office successes, but I also feel that it's very important for films to live beyond their years and for people to constantly go back to them and for me to be a part of those kinds of films. So I think for me to be remembered as I don't know, I think it's important for me, like how people think of as someone like Audrey Hepburn or somebody like people who we look up to are so many years later. Like I want to be that kind of actor where you make a place in people's hearts and then that place is passed down literally down the generations. So yeah, I don't know if that makes. I can put that in one word. I think the kind of actor that I'd like to be is somebody who's timeless and relevant through time.
That was a beautiful thing. Thank you, ma'am. We're done with the questions.